and sleep. I said, why should I sleep? It's time to go to work. She was going to school. I said, you look really mad, and I don't advise that you go to school. I said, you know what, you just go to your school. Go and learn, that's your job. My job is to work for the country. Little did I know that she went back to her room. She said she was going to get a pencil. She went to tell her mom that Daddy is in a very bad mood today, and I know if he goes to work, some heads will roll. I don't know what is wrong, but you should calm him down. So then she was coming down, then as I was going down to see her, she said, oh, I forgot something. Then she saw the company, she went back. She said, what else? She said, I forgot my body pen. You know, they're good at computers. The stick. Yeah, I forgot memory stick. I said, okay. She went back. She told her mom, you want to let Daddy go out with this mood? The house, yeah, the convoy is set. So I said, okay, don't worry. As soon as she left, I came back. And then the first lady came running down. Yes, sorry, what? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a in French? What is going on? I said, nothing. So why are you mad? I said, how do you know I'm mad? I'm not mad. If I'm mad, I've been in a lunatic asylum. He said, no, you're in a very bad mood. I said, no, I'm not in a bad mood. Even if I'm in a bad mood now, when I go and do what I want to do, I'll be in a very good mood. And he said, no, you cannot go anywhere. I said, no, today I have to go. Because enough is enough. They said, no, let me go. And then she looked at me and said, oh, I heard you talking on the telephone yesterday about hospitals. You went to the hospital? I said, yes. I said, no, let me go. Because if you go, by the time you leave, there will be nobody left in the hospital. So we had an agreement. I said, okay, well, if you go, you are not going to be able to fix the problem. She said, no, but I'm going to go and assess what is going on and then see their conditions as well. I said, I've been going to the hospitals every door. And they are simply not making an effort. I said, okay, just give me this chance. I promise you, I'll fix the problem. I said, okay. Then I said, okay, but when you go down, give me a report. Then she went around, I think Vice and others, they went, and it was taking too long because what I really wanted was to send a lot of people home. Later she said, no, you promise. She made me promise, and that was one regret I had. And when they made the report, it took me a few months. Each time she said, I have a report, but I don't want you to see it now. I'll fix the problem. I said, no, let me see the report. But anyway, all attempts to make sure that things are in order. Can you believe that even for some hospitals, to compile a list of their requirements took 6 months? Until I told her, well, you know what, just stay out of it. Then when I fired the minister and the permanent secretary, and then a DPS, then the following day we got the reports. And I don't know who that DPS was. He was there, I fired him. Because he had his eyes closed and I hit him at the back. So anyway, I can't understand why you will have a meeting, spend maybe $10,000 for the meeting for food and beverages. And then just for $500, a patient who is about to die, the hospital cannot get that one. It is unacceptable. I know all the problems from the major hospital to this smallest health center is the same old story. Well, I think I must know that when I make a pledge, I will do it by the grace of the Almighty Allah. So whoever wants to work, let the person change your attitude. But this issue of being in the hospital, having your own pharmacy is not a problem. But you cannot supply your pharmacy from government stores. That is not going to happen. Now, you are fully in charge. They either work or go home. Anybody who doesn't want to work, don't worry, I will know. You don't even need to report on it, because it's just nearby. But anybody who doesn't want to work, I'm warning you to leave the job, because otherwise, when I get hold of you, you will live in a way that you regret why you are in this world, because this is unacceptable. We have spent a lot of money making sure that there will be no shortages of any drugs. But the strategy they used to do is wait until last minute, write to government and say that there's going to be a serious shortage of drugs, and so we cannot use the tender system. And they tell them, okay, go ahead. They have already got Phil York and other institutions ready to supply. Now, I don't think if I'm a good cook and I have my own kitchen, I think every day I should know how much oil is left, how long that should take me. Because if you have been cooking, you should know for a household, you should know for a month how much stuff you need. So when you look at the stock, you should know how long it's going to take you so that you replenish it. So it also is a hospital. But each time they come last minute for provisional approval to buy pharmaceutical. I thought, okay, each time that I sign that one also, I will sign the dismissal letter of the Minister of Health. Thank God I have him. He knows me since he was going to school. We were going to school together. He knows that I don't compromise. And I made it very clear there's no friendship. In national duty, there's no friendship. I sent him home, but despite that, he was my friend. I told him friendship has nothing to do with my official life. And that's the way I operate in this country. In the execution of my official function, I don't have a brother, I have a friend. Do what is right, you are my friend. Do what is wrong, you will bear the consequences, irrespective of who you are. So he knows that. He's very active, he's young, I think he's younger than me. And we have the same vision, because I groomed them, despite the fact that they were always afraid to even tell, shut up. But once again, I want to assure you that you have my full support. Don't allow anybody to intimidate any one of you. Say, oh, you are foreigners. You are not foreigners in this country. Because that great country of yours stood for the Gambia at a very difficult time. And we will never forget that. We will never abandon Syria. So you are at home. Also, I know that medicine, the medical field is a very difficult field. And so you don't need distractions. I told Mohamed Basi that all of you are free to bring your families here. Because I want to make sure that when you go, you are treating a patient, your mind is free. And I don't think your mind would be steady knowing what is going on every day and you don't know how your family is. So all of you are authorized to bring your families. We will pay for it. Bring your families and stay here until when the situation improves. If you decide to go back, it will be a decision. If you decide to stay also, but whilst you are here, you are Gambians. So, Doctor, your people can bring their families and all the families here. Because as a head of the family, I know how it feels when you don't see your family. Even under normal circumstances, more so when the circumstances are not really normal. So we will give you all the assistance. As I said, the two people that you'll be working with will be the Secretary General and the Minister of Health, and of course Mohamed Basi. But whatever ideas you have, don't hesitate to bring them forward, because my objective is to prove a point. And what is the point? The West doesn't believe that best hospitals can be found in Africa, especially countries as small as the Gambia.